Hi everybody, welcome back to Mage Renaissance episode 26 with me, Sid, and I'm just down the strip mine because at the end of last episode we used our new enchanting area to enchant our psi metal pick, and we got this rather nice little pick here with fortune and all sorts of other goodies on it. In fact, if we look at it, fortune 3, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, and something called bloody replication 4, which I have no idea what that does. We did actually have a look at the spell in the description, but what it says is it's exchange health points spend on to copy a wood log instead of its destruction, which sounds like it would go better on a pick, but on a axe even. However, this is obviously our strip mine. This is where we've been doing the old-fashioned strip mining, and this is where I've been using psi, and there's another level above. This is I do 2 layers, but we did get this, so that is what I wanted obviously to grab while we were here. I haven't got any blocks on me, have I? That was a mistake. And while we're here, I thought I'd just demonstrate just how easy magic based strip mining is. I mean, it is seriously ludicrously easy. And now I've got a few blocks, of course. That means we can do it. And our diamond situation has just improved considerably in one go. So literally all I would do is I would probably do that. Obviously I didn't have this with me earlier, but I would come along here and I go 2, 3, 4, 5. If you put the F7 on, you can see which side to put the torch, so it's that side, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this time it goes over to there. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just repeat that 4 times, and that's my 20 length corridor. What was that? I've lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then armed with that, the next thing you would do is just go and grab out these things. Now I can do this without the pick on these. It's not actually necessary, but here it probably is, because you know it's fortune, so we would be foolish for not taking advantage. And I have this problem with strip mining, and that is that I like to be tidy. So consequently I will fill the holes in behind me. Other people will probably just go and take this whole lot out. We'd find that with the strip mine, but we'll have that while we're here anyway. And then we'll have you and you. And part of why I'm wondering about the ore doubling at the moment is here we go, more of that stuff, but more importantly that stuff is because it's really not that. Oh, hello, I shall be your miner for the day. And this is also why I'm doing 2 levels of strip mining, because what you sometimes find is the diamonds. Well, let's talk good old Minecraft chunk generation. It will attempt to generate 1 vein of diamond per chunk, somewhere between levels 16 and 0, obviously down as far as bedrock. And clearly if you go in at just under 16, so if you go down to 13 and go, you're stood on 13, so that would be 14, 15, 60, sorry. You stood on 13, 14, 15, that level up there is 16. Now there's a chance that you would miss diamonds right on the cusp there. That's one of the downsides to strip mining at that level. The other downside to strip mining at that level is quite simply that there's a very high chance that you will intercept some lava, which will put a crimp on your day. So yeah, there are always downsides, but yeah, it's not that desperate. Now, this will harvest this. This doesn't require me. I can use my I can use my fist on this stuff. I can't use actually the dig spell. It won't handle it because this is an obsidian level block. So yeah, I do have to be a little bit more manual with that. But for the most part, it's just a matter of hammering it out and fortuning up the blocks that we can get fortune from. So obviously redstone, diamonds, any gems, lapis, you know, the usual suspects, I suppose. And I'm going to do a little bit of strip mining now because, you know, I'm actually recording this a day earlier than I should be because I'm a little bit ahead of myself. And for those who know me, you know, I do record usually about 2 weeks ahead of myself, and sometimes I can get a little bit ahead of that as well, sometimes not, you know, it's no biggie. So yeah, but that's strip mining with Sai. It is an absolute doddle. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Anyway, back in a bit. Alright, not a bad hole. We got a whole load of, you know, the usual suspect materials, a whole load of other materials, gravel. Hell, are you full again? You are, aren't you? No, you can't be. Oh, you know, there you go. Andesite, nasty stuff that we don't want, so bye bye to you. You don't want it, it's vile. Let me just put that was from a treasure slime that attacked me. Yeah, a few bits and pieces of that I didn't get out of the mine. Oh man, my storage is getting terrible. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to do something about this storage situation before long. I'll keep that on a person. Redstone we'll just block up, that's not a problem. And we'll take our diamonds, we'll do the lapis, we'll just block the lapis. That lot can go, so that fixes our diamond shortage situation because we were getting a little bit on the low side there. Those obviously are ores which require processing, except for that one, which we'll chuck through to the put into chuck it through to the smelter. It's no good to it. I don't think we can use it in any way except like that. So let us take those and chuck all of those through to the smelter in the nether. Coal is fine, that's fine. We've got all sorts of goodies coming out of there. So those are that, along with that. That needs to go upstairs to the enchantment area. No. That goes in there. That lot goes in there. Miscellaneous. And then stuff, which again, see, we've got endstone, we've also got this entropy endstone. The entropy endstone really has no use in the game, and if we just pop that down, you know, it's just an end, it's ugly. So again, I think we'll bin that because it really has no use in my life anyway. Anything in there we don't want. You see, what we should do is jump in here and chisel that, put that away with the dirt, and everything will be good and, you know, good and happy. Yeah, there we go. Bye bye. Right. However, anyway, mining was not my intention. That's not what I'm planning to do today, and neither was it, you know, to look at this. I still think we could just melt a lot of that. We don't think we need to go for ore doubling. What we need to do today is we need to take our Thorminomicon. While we're up there, we'll just run up here and stash this thing. Now, there's still work to do up here. I'm going to take a break from this for a while because I'm not entirely sure how I want to handle these stairs. I mean, clearly we can do that, but how would a Japanese or Chinese Oriental build handle that way, you know, because yeah, I don't know. This side I feel they would block off. That would be like chunked off. But yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I am torn I am. However, we can drop that off because we're going to need that to power this. And let's head down and see about this. So, infusion altar. Well, obviously there's stuff like the Mage's robes and stuff. These are V discounts, which may be handy going forward. But we need to get into this. We've got the runic matrix. We have made that. We need some arcane pedestals, and we need to get we need to put this mystical construct together, and you know that's going to go like that. Nothing's changed other than it is just blocks, not bricks and blocks. During the first stage, essential will be drained, crafting will stall if there's insufficient, something you do not want to will be explained. Once all of the essential have been infused, the target other objects will be yada yada. Not without risk, the entire process involves forcing vast entities into a single object. Unpredictable things tend to happen. Usually one of the fusion objects gets knocked off the pedestal or flux gets generated, but more catastrophic events are not unheard of. Yay! The longer crafting continues due to unresolved problems like lack of VR dropped items, the greater the chance of something bad happening. Yeah, nothing new there. Effects can be reduced by various means. Firstly, you wish to keep the entire fusion structure as symmetrical as possible. Again, nothing changed there. Blah blah blah. When placing fusion items, you may wish to keep them balanced as well. Lastly, you can place occult paraphernalia around the altar in symmetrical formations, things like candles, skulls, etc. These will have the effect of reducing stability. So, you know, we know pretty much how that worked. You know, we've got the pedestals. Central pedestal is located. Several more placed around the blocks. It doesn't actually give you any indication of how these are placed as well. That's a new thing. What they don't tell you there is you can no longer spam skulls and everything underneath the altar. You can't put 200 skulls and get 100% stability. I think they've capped it as well, like 10 or 20, and after that it has no effect. You do need to then get into more advanced infusion. So there's infusion boosting, which we can complete that. So we can put the infusion speed stone. The infusion cost stone will decrease the infusion cost as slight reduction to operating speed, placed directly under an altar pillar, but they need not to be balanced for stability. Okay, well that's all fun. We have nothing yet about the rest of this, so there is clearly stuff to go on. We need, I need another arcane infusion to get those. But we do need to build this, and we need to build this somewhere. Ideally, we want to move this as well, and we want to go and move this all out to an area where we've got a reasonable amount of energy, V, in the atmosphere, because we haven't got it around here. So let's just jump over to the nether base. And we shall go and get the Dormic Dioptera. And if you haven't seen, if you first tuning for the first time, what this does is it gives you a 3-dimensional map representing the V in the area. Now the V in this area is actually pretty poor. It's what was it? I'm trying to think. It did say that about 88. If we go back to the overworld, we'll see that in this area, turning into night, so maybe we want to have a little sleep anyway. In this area right now it is about 182, so the V has recovered a little bit in this area, and what happens as the V flows, as it recovers from the various stresses and damage. I left my bed down there, didn't I? I haven't moved it up yet. Thank you. So if we were to pop this down right now, it would show that this area was not as bad. Now earlier in the series I managed to damage this down to the point where it had dropped off quite a bit. However, now it's still not brilliant. I mean, you know, you can see here that we're not in a rich area. There's a little bit richer over there, and it does level out because we are draining all of this back together. Now we did check and we found that the ideal, let's just head out this way at speed. Yeah, can't wait to get the Boots of the Traveller, see what that does to us. We discovered that over this way, let me just quickly eat. There's a big peak over that direction. So if this is the center chunk, we've got basically anything over here. Looks pretty good. And it kind of makes sense. It's an enchanted woodland, so you know that is potentially where you would expect to see that. Now, my gut feeling is that if we come and put it here, we'll probably find we have a reasonable, where are we? Is there more? I would say we're probably peaking at this area. If we were to head over here a little bit more, perhaps we may find that it's a little bit higher. Ooh, spooky cave. Yeah, I mean, we are pretty much, I think there's flux is negligible and the V is fine. So this area around this peak seems to be a particularly good area. My thoughts therefore are to build a infusion altar and a secondary Thorncraft base, if you like, around here. Now that does mean we need to sort out down there and fill that in. If there are any caves, I don't think there are. I think that's just an overhang. And it may be worthwhile building into this structure, using this as part of our structure here. The other thing we probably need to do is have a look at tidying up around a bit in here. Maybe I'll have that while we're at it. Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Oh, hello. I think that just gave me, what was that? Get rid of that. Oh, come on. Theory arc. I've got that, haven't I? Huh? Observation. Maybe I haven't. I've got 17 observation, but not theory. Okay, fine. Yeah. So I'm thinking this would be a good area to think. Now, as I say, I want to fill this in. Maybe block those blocks off as well with I don't know, a bit of poo stone maybe. Let's go in here and blob. There, that's one down. That one might be a little bit trickier. I don't think I can. Hey, can I? Let's see. Oh, I can. Cool. Wasn't sure whether I'd be able to get away with that particular little trick there. Yeah, so we'll plan this out. We're going to get a reasonable floor plan. I also need to decide on a building block. It's not going to be Oriental themed, but this is going to be somewhat different. So I'm not entirely sure on the building materials yet, but you know, given what we know and what we're armed with, it shouldn't be too hard to come up with a design that works. Yeah. Let me have a think. I'll be back in a mo. Alright, I've been doing a bit of building. I've decided there is a building material I would like, and is that mana glass. Brilliant stuff. The other thing that I want, and I'll show you, because I'm going to call and grab this while we're heading past. There's Embers has some rather nice blocks, and I'm just going to borrow that, one of those and one of those, just because that hole is bugging me. I keep walking past it. I still need to keep shearing the sheep. I kind of head over this way and then shear it a few times and then forget about them for ages, and yeah, we really haven't got a lot of stuff, and it's noisy and horrible. So yeah, the sooner we get golems to do that for me, the happier I will be. I don't know who's that. Anybody claim that? No. I don't know whether that episode that I actually put that out is out yet, but oh, there we are. So I quite like this stuff from Embers, and if you look at these, the recipe for that is arcade brick. Arcade brick is an alchemy recipe, so we're not anywhere ready to make that right now. However, these structures are incredibly common in the world. You know, and if we look there, then arcade brick, all the same. So it occurs to me that the easiest way of getting lots of arcade brick is to just go around and destroy all of these and harvest a whole load of them, and that would obviously make life a lot quicker, easier, and we'd have a significant supply. Now, as I say, I've seen loads. You can't turn around for them, and I think there's at least 3, maybe 4 in the immediate vicinity of just this mountain range alone. And then you got these rather nice ashen tiles as well, which, you know, they come from ash pile and rock. Ash pile you get again from stamping alchemical. So there's a lot. The blocks in Embers, it's always been a shame actually that Embers has a good selection of building materials, and they are every single one of them is reasonably late game. Yeah, so I'm going to grab any of those whenever I see them, and kill the guardian within and all that kind of thing. In fact, let me just double check. I think there was not another one. Hey, oh, God. Right, I wanted to also see what happens when I do that. Doesn't necessarily improve the chances of there being. Wow. I think I've just found out where all these caves are underneath. Wow, you do get a goodly amount. I don't know if it improves your odds of getting the bits. I know I'm kind of prevaricating at the moment, but hello. I'm sure there is another one. I think it's down here actually. If we were to run down this way. Yeah, there, look. That was whoever's areas this was. I'd love to know whose this was, because I'd like all of that for starters. If they're not coming back, then, you know, yoink. I mean, they've seen no evidence to suggest they're coming back. So, but you know, if you do know whose this little area was, you know, because there's stuff there that's actually quite nice. Stuff that isn't, obviously, and useless stuff and boring stuff, but there is some nice-ish stuff. So if it's not being used, I know a good home for anything that doesn't get used. It's my home. Don't like to see waste. You know, they always say waste not, want not. It's not improving our chances. It doesn't seem to be improving our chances of getting the knowledge gems, but oh, hello. How are you, sir? Missed. That's the other way of getting them, of course. Oh, and these guys, I got oh, there's a bed there. I got chased by one of these recently, and he actually came out of the water. I've not seen that behaviour in them before. Yeah, it's not really. Does not seem. There seems to be a fair amount of those ore blocks over there, though. Well, I am determined to prove whether this will increase our yield when it does drop of the rare blocks or not. Not the rare, but you know what I mean. The nah, doesn't really seem to. Oh well. Anyway, right. Let's try and get on with what I was actually trying to do and stop prevaricating, getting distracted, which I realise is my usual way of being. Huh. You can't get me, sir. See, he's coming out. Anyway, I'm not going to play with him because when they hit you, it's horrible. So back over here where we've been building, I've got a basic stone structure going, and the essential structure that I'm looking to build is a tower that goes up to the top there, but is embedded in the side, and it's going to curve up like that and get thinner and thinner and thinner as it goes up to the top, and then we're going to have like a flare out, and then we'll have the traditional wizard's tower peak on the top. Now at the moment it's all boring stone. The interior I've done with some wood, and I've popped this in the middle. I thought this would be a nice little central piece for it. There's no particular reason did I think it would be a nice little central piece, but you know, it might be. You don't know until you try. Yeah, get rid of that. But the mana glass. Give me 16. This has been a long time building favourite of mine, just because it is so transparent. It's actually got a little bit of a line going on these days, which is a shame. Don't know whether there has been a texture change in it or not, but you know, nothing fancy, just get a little bit of I don't know whether to yeah, maybe there as well. Just get a bit of light in here. Now we're going to go up. The floors are largely unimportant. We're going to keep on going up. I am going to also put in I have got some of this, which we can scatter in amongst the bricks to randomize the textures, just give it a little bit of variation. We will of course then use a chisel to crack a few of these, and I will possibly even go out and grab a few of the mossy ones, and we'll put a bit of that in as well. And then there's the detail. Obviously we can start really going to town with the detail on it, but right now it's just a matter of getting a few bits and pieces of very vague detail put in. Broad brush detail, I suppose, is would be another way of thinking about it. Yeah, get that kind of going. We can chisel our way through and the world will be good and happy. So what I need to do is get up onto the next layer, and I think what I'm going to do is, if I can, I don't know whether I can do this with chisel. Yeah, it's probably going to be too difficult. We're going to go a bit steeply in and then slowly curve back up again. So we'll go like, this is a 4, I think. So that will go 4, maybe 5. This is 6. This will be 4. Then a 3. Then and then we'll go back up again and swing it up, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, I've been waffling too long. I'll be back in a short while. Well, it's getting bigger. I don't think we need to do much more before we're going to hit the top and put that on there, but yeah, I'm happy enough with that. It's starting to look, I mean, it needs, it really does need, hello, needs a lot of polishing. It also needs a means of me getting up and down on the inside of it, because at the moment it is only via Enderman teleporting that we're getting up there, which of course hurts. So yeah, but that's fine. It's not a major league problem, because you know, we can get up here quite easily. Next layer, I'm going to have, this is going to be a big tall room. The next layer will be a tall room as well, but we'll just have a standard, very simple floor in it. So yeah, that's probably the next thing we need to do. Probably take some ironwood, some of that, and just a little bit of that for now. Let's get up here and there. Right, so what we need to do is, damn it, I didn't bring the right stuff. What I need to do is basically get this done over here. I'm just going to jump back down again. Grab some of what I need, which is the cobble for now. Again, I'm not getting bogged down in the detail at this stage, because you know, well, it's not good practice. Do I want to, I think what I want to do, do I really want to do that? I suppose that doesn't matter, it doesn't hurt. So we've got that going on there, and then I want this to come in and be a 2. And then this to be a 2 as well. So we've got that going on. And then this to be the 3. I think that works. So yeah, I'm going to get this done so till we get to the top. I think next episode we'll work on the top and the more substance of this, but I'm happy enough with this. I'll get this done. That'll be our screenshot for the first thing, and until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.